Neighbors couldn't believe their ears.
Kind of numbing.
A child missing, their homes searched by FBI agents.
My husband said they're FBI, and I thought he was kidding. I thought it was some kind of inspection or something. I go, what's going on here? And then they said it was a baby, and I just about fainted.
Welcome back. I'm Cassie, and this is A Wicked World. The story I have for you today is one in which there seems to be some pretty good leads. However, it's still unknown where this baby girl went in the middle of the night back in October of 2011. This is the story of Lisa Irwin. Lisa Irwin was born on November 11, 2010, to her mother, Deborah Bradley, and her father, Jeremy Irwin, in Kansas City, Missouri. Little Lisa's nickname was Pumpkin Pie, and she was a sweet and happy baby who loved being with her 5- and 8-year-old brothers. So Lisa and her family lived on the 3600 block of North Lister Avenue in Kansas City, Missouri. On October 3, 2011, at 5:30 p.m., Jeremy received a phone call asking if he could do some electrical work at a nearby Starbucks. Needing the money, he took the job and told Deborah that he'd be back home no later than 10 p.m. Following that, she called a neighbor and family friend and asked her if she wanted to come over. When the neighbor got there, the two sat outside on the front porch, drinking wine and smoking cigarettes, while they watched the older children play in the yard. The friend would end up leaving at 10:30 p.m., and Deborah and her 2 boys would fall asleep in Deborah's bed. Jeremy ended up working much later than he expected. He didn't arrive back home until 4 in the morning. And when he did, he found several lights on in the home, the front door unlocked, and the computer room window open. And when he tried to shut the window, it wouldn't close. It appeared the latching system was completely broken. Jeremy then proceeded to check on his wife and children, and that's when he realized that baby Lisa was no longer in her crib. Jeremy immediately awoke his wife, and the pair frantically looked around for the baby. But when they didn't find her, they went to call 911, and it's at that point that they realized that 3 cell phones that had been lying on the kitchen counter, charging, had also been taken. Lisa's parents would end up calling the police from Jeremy's work phone. And when authorities arrived at the home, not much after that, they spoke with Deborah, Lisa's mother, who claimed she had put her daughter to bed with a pacifier, blanket, and some toys around 6:30 p.m. She said that she later checked on Lisa around 10:30 p.m., and that was the last time she had seen her. The search for baby Lisa began, and her parents quickly made themselves, their house, and their 2 boys available to investigators. So, Lisa's 2 older brothers were devastated when their baby sister disappeared. But they were both still interviewed by police twice, as both boys had said that they had heard something that night. The open window with the pushed-in screen that Jeremy had discovered earlier seemed to be a good lead. That's until detectives tried to do a reenactment and determined it was unlikely anyone had entered that way. Police also dug in the family's backyard, because while they were searching, authorities noticed that there was a garden area and portions of dirt had the appearance of being recently disturbed or overturned. Evidence was also removed from inside the home, including carpeting, a multicolor comforter, purple shorts, a Disney character shirt, a glow-worm toy, a car-themed blanket, rolls of tape, and a tape dispenser. Now, baby Lisa had last been seen wearing a white top with kittens on it and purple shorts. And as I said, police had removed purple shorts from the home. However, they were never confirmed to be Lisa's. In their search for the baby, police also checked nearby woods as well as a local landfill. But nothing was recovered. That left those closest to Lisa, her parents. And they were under scrutiny by not only the police, but the public too. One thing that was odd at this point was that when Deborah had spoken with police, she initially told them that she had not looked for her daughter outside of the home because she was afraid of what she might find. Don't you want to find your child? Also, as police began to look into the theory that Lisa's mother may have something to do with her disappearance, discrepancies in her story began to appear. She had first told police that she had last seen her daughter at 10:30 p.m. when she checked on her. But after remaining radio silent for 9 days, she would do an interview in which she said the last time she had actually seen Lisa was when she put her down for bed at 6:30. That's a 4-hour discrepancy from what she told the police initially. Deborah had also told investigators that she was not intoxicated the night that Lisa had disappeared. But that part of her story had changed, and now she was saying that she had between 5 and 10 glasses of wine, along with anxiety medication. So those are two things you do not want to mix. Lisa's mother, Deborah, had also given a police-administered lie detector test, which she failed. The question they told Deborah that she was being deceitful about was if she knew where Lisa was. This polygraph, however, would later end up being revealed to just be an interrogation tactic. Since Lisa had gone missing, there had also been a tip called into police, in which the person said that they had seen a man throwing a bag into a river that was near the Starbucks where Jeremy was working that night. Jeremy, however, would prove to have an airtight alibi. Another thing that was making people suspicious of Lisa's parents was that cadaver dogs had been brought into the home, and they had detected the scent of a dead body in Deborah's bedroom near her bed. Nothing ended up coming of this, however, and later on down the road, it would be determined that they had actually detected feces, not human remains. The couple's lawyer whom they had hired came out and said that his clients were terrified for their daughter's safety and extremely shaken up. He also said that they refused to believe anything except that Lisa was out there and still alive. Around the same time, police would announce that Lisa's parents were no longer cooperating with the investigation. Lisa's parents, however, refuted these claims, saying that after a long day of more interrogation, they had just needed a break. But just hours after that, police were announcing that they were no longer cooperating. So even though detectives thought that Deborah may have something to do with her daughter's disappearance, her being the only adult home that night, they did not have enough evidence to prove this theory. All they really had was that holes had appeared in Deborah's story. And it was possible that someone could have entered the home without Deborah hearing, because her and Jeremy's bedroom was on the complete opposite end of the house as Lisa's bedroom. And Deborah would sleep with the fan on high every night. Deborah was absolutely terrified that she was going to be arrested. She said it was not because she would go to jail, but rather because if she was arrested, that meant police were going to stop looking for her daughter, which meant she would likely never be found.
Who are you talking to? Drink your baba.
It's the first real glimpse into baby Lisa's life at home.
Look at the messy baby, Lisa.
You can hear Lisa's mom behind the camera.
Say hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. What are you doing?
Lisa wearing a Daddy Loves Me t-shirt. Happy family moments her parents now cherish.
Good girl.
The family says it's releasing the videos this morning
A pumpkin pie.
in the hope people will not lose interest in little Lisa's story. For the first time this morning, we're also hearing exclusively from Bill Stanton, a private investigator and former New York City police officer now working with the family.
Well, how is the family doing right now?
I am seeing a family's heart literally torn out of its chest.
After spending time with the baby's mother, do you think that she may have been responsible for her child's disappearance?
Let me try and not give a politician's answer. Let me just say this. She doesn't want to be discounted. She doesn't want to be discounted.
What do you mean?
She wants to be looked at, vetted, and then once everyone feels she's not a suspect, let's move on.
Now, as I had said previously, 3 cell phones had been taken at the same time that Lisa had been taken. Some of these cell phones had actually been turned off due to non-payment, though I'm not sure how many of them. Now, if there was an intruder, They likely took the phones so that it made it more difficult to call 911, since those were the only things that were missing from the home besides baby Lisa. So police looked into Jeremy and Deborah's cell phone records to see if there had been any calls made from those cell phones after Lisa had disappeared. And detectives would end up discovering that one of these cell phones had made a mysterious 50-second call on the night that Lisa had vanished. Both of her parents denied ever making it. Now, this call had been made to a Kansas City woman by the name of Megan Wright, though she denied that she was the one that answered the phone at the time. She also denied even knowing Lisa's parents. They also denied knowing her. There had also never been any phone calls from any of their phones to Megan's phone or from Megan's phone to any of their phones prior to or after this. Phone records also showed that someone had tried to access the voicemail and internet browser on Deborah's phone between 3:17 and 3:32 a.m. on October 4th. The activity had taken place 1/5 to 1/3 of a mile from the family's home. The thing was, Megan happened to be the ex-girlfriend of one of police's persons of interest, who also happened to be a local transient who lived in a halfway house nearby. Apparently, this man was known as John or Jersey Tanko, and he was known for breaking and entering and stealing in the area. Coincidentally, on October 3rd, Jersey had been working at a residence that was just down the street from the Irwins' home. The owners of the house were out of town, and he had been tending to the lawn all day. A neighbor had seen Jersey around 1 p.m. when she went out to run some errands. When she came back later around 9:30 p.m., she noticed that the sprinklers in that yard were still on. At around 11 p.m., she noticed they had been turned off. And since it was Jersey's job to turn off these sprinklers, she assumed that he had left the home sometime between 9:30 and 11 p.m., which also meant that he could have been in the neighborhood that the Irwins lived in at the same time that Lisa disappeared. A married couple would also come forward and tell police that shortly after midnight on the night that Lisa had disappeared, they had seen a man walking with a baby down the street. And he had been walking in the direction of the home where Jersey was staying. The morning after Lisa had been reported missing, police took footprint casts in the muddy area that had been created by the sprinklers, but nothing came of it. There was also surveillance video that was obtained from a nearby BP gas station, and this showed a man all in white around 2:30 in the morning, leaving a wooded area. However, it was too blurry to see if he had a baby with him. The gas station manager also said that it is highly unusual seeing anyone in that area at that time of night. Additionally, there were multiple other witnesses who told police that they had seen a man carrying a baby about 3 miles away from the Irwins' home around 4 in the morning. This baby was dressed only in a diaper. The man was said to be about 5'7" and 140 to 150 pounds. It was only 45 degrees outside, so this sighting was extra odd. Who would be outside with a baby and just a diaper in those temperatures? And at approximately 2:30 a.m., the night that Lisa went missing, there had been a dumpster fire nearby. It had been in the parking lot of the Chateau Estates, which is only a few blocks away from the Irwin home, and can also almost be seen from the backyard where Jersey was staying. Flames had shot into the air several feet, so it's believed that an accelerant was used to start the fire. And interestingly enough, just weeks prior to Lisa going missing, on September 16th, 2011, Jersey's ex-girlfriend, Megan Wright, had her car set on fire in the same parking lot, just a little ways away from the dumpster. Police went to search the dumpster that had been set on fire, and when they did, they found baby clothes. However, these clothes were never confirmed to be Lisa's. The other thing that's very interesting is that Jersey and his girlfriend had just recently broken up, and it said that Jersey wanted to get back together with her, and she wanted a child. The Kansas City police said that they have interviewed Jersey about Lisa's disappearance, but they have said that they have moved on from him. However, they have not officially cleared him or any other suspect in Lisa's disappearance, in case any new evidence warrants a review. Now, about a month after Lisa disappeared, there was a charge for $69.04 made to Jeremy's debit card. 2 other transactions were attempted on his card as well, but those were denied. He didn't recognize these charges, but when he looked it up, it actually had come from a British name-changing website. Jeremy and Deborah would claim that police did not look into these charges closely enough. I'm guessing that Jeremy had to have one of his debit card's information saved to one of the cell phones that were stolen, because otherwise, how did it get stolen over a month after Lisa disappeared? Also, that would be really stupid of the person who kidnapped Lisa to also go and use her parents' debit card. Really stupid. Now, one of Deborah's former best friends, named Shirley Pfaff, came out to the media and said that she once loved Deborah, but had seen a side of her that she did not like. She claimed that she had gotten to know the real Debbie, and then could not believe she had ever trusted her with anything. Shirley also said that Debbie had a dark side, and under the right circumstances could be predisposed to murder. Shirley also said she's completely shocked that some people don't think that Deborah could have done anything to Lisa. So the search for baby Lisa continues on. A few years ago, her father, Jeremy, said, "It's hard to keep positive when something drags on for so long. But there's new things coming into play now, like she's 11, almost 11 years old. She might find herself. She might see something on the internet or TV." And Lisa's mother, Deborah, said, "Missing people are finding themselves. Social media, they're seeing themselves out there. We're just hoping someone sees her, or maybe she'll see herself." Though I'm sure if she's out there somewhere, she likely does not know that she is a missing child. She probably thinks that whoever is raising her, if that's the case, are her parents. So she probably has no idea. But Deborah continued, "There's no moving on. There is no closure, and we're going to continue to wait for her until she's back."
I know it's been 10 years. How do you guys reconcile 10 years?
It's been a long time, and it's been hard on all of us. But we try to keep her around. We talk about her frequently. We still do all the things that we think we would do if she was around. It kind of feels like you've won this giant prize that you don't want. Like, oh great, we've made it to 10 years. Like, how much longer are you gonna have? We're gonna have to keep looking for her and trying to live lives without her.
Deborah, what about you? Because I know 9, all of the years are hard, right? Does 10 feel any different?
The 10-year anniversary, it's just a reminder that we've gone a decade without seeing our daughter. We don't know what she looks like. We don't know where she is. We don't know who she's with. So it just reminds me of everything that we've missed, and that the older she gets and the longer that it takes to get her back, the harder it's going to be for her. So when she does come home, it's going to be everything we've ever wanted. But for her, her being as old as she is now, I think it's going to be extremely difficult for her to grasp what's happening.
Kansas City police say that there is still an active open investigation into Lisa Irwin's case. Anyone with information about the case is urged to call the Missing Persons Office directly at 816-234-5136. There is a $100,000 reward for her safe return. And every 3 years, the Center for Missing and Exploited Children also releases an age progression image of what Lisa Irwin might look like. Well, thank you for listening to Lisa's story today. Personally, I think that Jersey broke into the Irwin home and stole baby Lisa that night. But Deborah, who had been drinking heavily, didn't want police to know that she hadn't heard the break-in because she'd been passed out. So she lied at first. If it hadn't been Jersey, why else would a phone call have been made to his ex-girlfriend? An ex-girlfriend that neither Deborah or Jeremy knew. Where do you think baby Lisa went that night in 2011? So if you like true crime and you want to hear from me, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. And turn on those notifications too, so you'll know when I upload a new video, which is at least twice every week. Thanks for watching A Wicked World today. Until next time, take care guys. Bye. Thank you to all the patrons of A Wicked World. Now, there's even more of A Wicked World on Patreon. So check it out at patreon.com/awickedworld or use the Patreon app. You'll have access to exclusive videos each month and more. Any support truly helps to make sure the victims never get forgotten and to highlight the shortcomings of society associated with each case. Also, if you haven't yet, go check out my new channel, Wicked Ways. Do you have a suggestion for a case you'd like to see me cover? If so, send me an email at awickedworldtruecrime@gmail.com.